always been cool listening, and I like these dream ones, and I like hearing, even when people do other people's stuff, I think it's very cool because we haven't had things that weren't poetry and poetic license this week, but it's all allowed, so thank you all, each and every one of you. I will share with you 3 poems for this last reading. They appear in collection books, and they're not periodic table poems. I know you guys, some of you like that, but I'm going to share with you 3 poems from 2 different collection books that all happen to also be in the TUiiYH new book from TUiiYH released in 2024 called The Universe is in Your Hands. In your hands. I have to show off for the people in my Zoom meeting. There are places from around the world that are covered in this, so each of these represent a different location. And these first 2 that I'm going to share with you are not only in The Universe is in Your Hands, but also in the Down in the Dirt issue collection book from September to December 2024, titled Shattered Facades. Shattered Facades, I'm like covering it up as I'm reading it. Shattered Facades and The Universe is in Your Hands. And this first one's a short one, and it's for Detroit, for Michigan, called Knowing Kevorkian. The Universe is in Your Hands at it. Oh, I knew Kevorkian. He used to be a pathologist. He used to do autopsies for my precinct in Detroit. What I remember about Kevorkian was that he'd go out with us for drinks, you know, and he'd get a gin martini. But he would always have just one, and he never joined the conversation. I never thought he had anything to say. Never thought he had a cause. And as a cop, you see a lot. But Kevorkian, a doctor of death, now I wonder what he saw. Short and sweet. For the cop, Bobby Killebrew, and may he rest in peace. Fascinating stories from him. That one was in Shattered Facades, and The Universe is in Your Hands. I'm showing off books again. This one, I'm going to show you a photo afterward of when I read it, but it's not in the books. I will share that with you after I read this poem. I hope you get a kick out of it. This, I don't know, is it for China, for Beijing, or is it for Chicago? This is a poem called My Kind of Town. The Universe is in Your Hands at it. I stepped over many palace door sills in Beijing's Forbidden City, negotiating golden bars from 6 inches to a foot tall. And they may have once kept rain and mice out, but these gold bars were also symbolizing power. The higher one's status, the higher the bar people had to step over, not on, but over. But then I left, entered the summer palace. That's when an older Chinese gentleman walked up to me and asked, in the best English he could muster, where I was from. I told him the United States. And then I said, Chicago. And that's when this man's eyes lit up. And he said, my kind of town. And I laughed, nodding my head in agreement, until he leaned toward me and said, Frank Sinatra sang that. Yes, he did. I laughed again. Yes, he did. I said, because even though this world is so small, we will always find ways to connect with one another. My kind of town. And the funny thing was, I read this at a thing in Chicago called Windy City Words, and I read only Chicago and 1 Illinois poem, and I did readings there for this poem, and I'm going to try to show it really tiny. Yes, I'm leaning in there going, Frank Sinatra sang. I know that because I could see the pose of like, you know, Frank Sinatra sang that one, which I thought was just the funniest thing. That doesn't appear in a book, but I read that in Chicago for Windy City Words. And I'm going to close with one more poem for you guys. And it is a short one and it's a sadder one, I'm sorry. But it is not only in The Universe is in Your Hands, which is from TUiiYH Press, but this is also in the Scars Publications CC&D issue collection book called Alone with the Stars. It's an astronomy reference. Sorry, I like my my James Webb Space Telescope stuff. But this is one and is for Vietnam. And it is titled Willie Pete. Seeing bombs during Vietnam, the white smoke rising. With each bomb exploding, I knew that smoke. It was Willie Pete, white phosphorus. You couldn't put it out once it started burning. That stuff could destroy the forests, so foreign to our U.S. troops. Everything so volatile about that war, in a way, has become a part of me, like it's in my DNA. You look at your TV screen and you think it makes no sense, but it's a part of me. And for some reason, I need it. I can't explain why, but I do. When you see the destruction of Willie Pete, that's what we called it, but when you see that destruction, you think of it existentially, like, oh, violence is bad. But when I see those bombs going off, that was our key to getting through that hell. I know you'll never understand. And it sounds sick. But seeing that white smoke from file footage, it all brought it all back to me. And those emotions came flooding back like it was yesterday. And you can't understand. But that white smoke, to us, was the closest thing we had to getting out alive. White phosphorus. Willie Pete. Willie Pete, there was my Vietnam reference, which appears in The Universe is in Your Hands and in the CC&D collection book, Alone with the Stars. Why do I keep showing off books? Because I just published so many books, I can't help it. That's all I do. But thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you for staying so long, especially when it's approaching midnight, my darling, across the pond. I appreciate it. I really, really, yeah, go get some rest. And have better dreams and don't think about Willie Pete in Vietnam. Please don't. Please don't think about that. Think about the way you teach me nice happy things about, try to think of happy things for the poems and sleep well when you go to bed tonight, my darling. What I can tell you is that next month, because people couldn't make it, I was already saying, well, I hope you can make it to the next one, which is the first Sunday of the month, which is May 4th. So I have to do my stupid Star Trek reference and say or Star Wars reference and say May the 4th be with you. I don't have any Star Wars references. I was saying that I have he's like, yeah, I was saying I'll do a Star Trek, and I'm like, it's not Star Trek, it's Star Wars. I'll have to do Queen Amidala lipstick or something to pull that off for next month. I'll have to, but because I can't just, you saw me with a picture frame as I'm reading periodic table. I can't just read, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I would thank each and every one of you for staying as long as you have. Thank you so much, David, for guest hosting once again. I know it's been a weird time with other people and illnesses going on and stuff, but if all goes according to plan, our usual host should be back and okay and fine for next month. I will give people an email post an update and list it all a week beforehand when it comes up. And you can check him out online as well, because John F. McMullen has stuff, so you can ask him how he's doing too. So thank you all so much, and I hope you got a thing to buy that man a cup of coffee, because he deserves it for help hosting this Zoom meeting for us. And thank you again, David. And
all right, ain't no problem. Take care.
You too.
Well, if I can say good night.
And good night.
It's good night for me.
Good night, my darling. Sleep well, my angel. Sleep well, my angel.
Whoever is doing it next month, David's there, because I enjoy reading what he's...
Yes.
When he puts it on the screen and you can read what he's saying, I think.
And even if John is hosting it, he can give you the screen as well, because he's done that for others as well if he's back. So that would be wonderful. So we hope to see you as I Zoom. I just because I hope John is back, I hope not as a Zoom host. That's the only reason why I say that. But at least in attendance, because it would be wonderful to see you. And we'll get more people coming around in May. And thank you again.
Right.
I will see you guys. Good night. You have a good one. Thank you.